Experience the joy of watching your friends and family's faces light up when you feed them wild game you harvested and made into delicious sausages. Or meet you barbecue and grill with the finest seasonings available. Visit our friends at waltons.com to find everything you need to turn wild game into tasty meat snacks or spice up your barbecue with new flavors and seasonings. With over 500 seasonings to choose from, there's something that everyone will love. They even have step-by-step videos and how-to articles at Meatgistics to help you go from animal to edible. Use coupon Rangers15 at checkout. Save 15% on your first order at waltons.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather, so you'll have to forgive me if I sound nasally.
I think you sound hot, so.
Oh, damn. Okay.
The Ranger Report. Yeah, the Ranger Report. You want the inside scoop? Listen to the Ranger Report. Oh, here we go.
Welcome to the Ranger Report podcast. This is an episode we are doing this week. In case you didn't know, no matter what week you're listening to it, we did it this week. I'm going to start over. That was stupid.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. News, insights, predictions, interviews, and information about the Texas Rangers from the major leagues to the minor leagues. And now, here are your hosts, Ben Dieter and CJ Berryman.
Welcome to the Ranger Report podcast. I am Ben Dieter. You can find me on Twitter at BDieter75.
I am CJ Berryman. You can find me at CJB_RR on that bird app.
And CJ, why don't you introduce our third member tonight?
Somehow I allow my friends to get on the podcast, and so far it hasn't burned me yet, but we're going to see if Tyler's going to burn me a little bit. Tyler Nielson, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
I got spaghetti on the stove, so yeah, I'm good.
All right. Hopefully it doesn't boil over while we're talking.
Oh, no. It's already got done.
Okay, so. Good. That's good, because you don't want a spaghetti disaster in the middle of a podcast.
No.
All right. Well, let's start out. Tyler, when did you and CJ become friends?
It really started off as a young age. I would say, if I recall right, CJ might have different memories of it, but I'd say basically Little League baseball. Does that sound about right, CJ?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just grew up just playing sports together, and from then on, our friendship just developed even more and more. And the older I got to know CJ, I didn't realize the knowledge of sports he had. I've always been an avid sports fan.
Yeah,
and it's just one of those deals. It's just I could sit back and talk with him and shoot the shit, and it was a great relationship. We've always had it. So that's basically the story of our lives. I think our friendship started growing more, though, throughout high school when we actually started playing more competitive ball and, starting to play and, JV together and just all different kinds of sports together. It's just it was fun times, man.
Yeah, I noticed, CJ, that most of the friends you have and bring on the podcast you met through baseball.
Baseball and football, yeah. Tyler favorite receiver, and he can attest to that.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, there was a game we were playing against Meadow, and I told Tyler, he had a broken hand. He was wearing a cast, and we ran a slant route, and it was at the goal line, and I said, "Man, I'm coming to you." He goes, "Throw it," and I homed that thing in there as hard as I could. And I threw it, right out in his outstretched hands, and he caught that sucker. So I think if we talked about this last night, I think if me and Tyler were to run a play right now, we'd run the slant. I'd put a blindfold on me and put a blindfold on Tyler, and we'd score.
I agree with that.
All right. So in computer class, I'm sure you remember this, when A-Rod signed, remember we were sitting there next to each other and we're typing, we're doing our code or whatever. And the A-Rod signing happened. And you looked at me and you go, $252 million.
I lost my shit.
Yeah, talk about
and
that.
actually, if I recall that day, you were actually doing the typing and doing my typing for me too.
Yes,
I was doing the refreshing on the computer.
That's correct. That is correct. So
we were just waiting for it.
I took one semester of computer programming, and that wasn't for me.
It wasn't for me either, Ben.
Of course, now I kind of teach that, which is weird. But anyway.
That's why Tyler had me and used me, you bastard.
Well, you could no telling how many words a minute that Stu can type. It's ridiculous. I was like, here, I'll pay for your lunch if you just type my thing up. And then the next thing you know, the teacher comes around. She's like, okay, I know you didn't do that. She's like, CJ, quit doing his work. So it was one of those things. I was like, crap. Now I'm really screwed.
I was that way all the way through college.
Yeah. So talking about that day, Tyler, that was a crazy day.
Oh man, there was so much to live about that day. I had a good feeling he was going to sign with Texas, and
that we didn't think that much because you and I were going back and forth on how much money it would be. 150 million is what we were looking at, and then all of a sudden 52 happens, and we both shit our pants.
Yeah, I was like, when it first popped up, I was like, it's all, I'm ecstatic. We were happy, but then I'm like, shit, for that much money, I'm not that happy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they did it, and I guess it didn't work out the way we wanted it to, but I guess the game moves on, right?
He did have a heck of a career with Texas. It just Texas didn't build around him and wasn't any good while he was here.
That's true. He did have a good roundabout with us.
And funny story about the first game that A-Rod played with the Rangers. I was at Tyler's house with our buddy Brandon, and we were watching the first game. It was in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
I'll never forget A-Rod singled in his first at bat, and Tyler went up and kissed the TV.
I sure did. Well, actually, what I recall from it, didn't the very first ground ball that got hit to A-Rod, he had an error?
Yep.
I was like, oh, this is going to be a great contract. Here we go.
Yeah, they should have had Twitter. They should have had Twitter back then, so we could all overreacted together.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I would have taken a picture of Tyler kissing the TV.
Yeah, that would have been good Twitter content right there.
Yeah, did we even have cell phones in with cameras?
We had Nokia. We had Nokias.
The brick, man. The Nokia brick.
We had
the Nokia brick. Yeah.
Yeah. We had our phone numbers memorized so that anything good happened to Rangers, we were calling each other on a not cell phones, on a landline.
And
thank God my parents had that long cord on the landline that stretched all the way from the kitchen to the living room and bedrooms.
Yep. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, half of our listeners are going, "What's a landline?"
We're about to We're about to educate them about how rolling up your windows. That was actually a thing back then.
Yep. And also, you remember when you would tell your dad, "Please don't make a phone call because I'm on the internet."
No, my dad would actually tell me not to do that.
Yeah.
CJ, I'm with you. That's what my dad would say. Yeah. I'm like, oh, great.
Yep.
Oh, no, buddy, because dad's on the internet.
Yeah, so we can't use the phone, and there were no cell phones. Yeah, you guys should have been there back in our day. We're three old men now, grumpy old men sitting on our front lawns.
Yeah, I'm going to be like telling everybody to get off my damn lawn when I get older. I can already see it happen.
When you get older, I started that when I was like 26.
Well, that's why you're setting.
I know. That's why I've got all this gray right here. So, all right, let's move off of grumpy old man talk, although it's enjoyable. All right, let's move on to 2010. Sorry. Now I remember where I was and what I did. I cried, but where were you when Neftali Felice struck out A-Rod and the Rangers went to their first World Series?
Well, I was actually sitting there, and I was going to give CJ some shit last night because when he sent me over the questions that were going to be asked of me, he put 2011.
Yep.
So I was going to do a little fact check on him, but I'm just giving you shit, CJ.
Trust me, everybody gets.
I was actually in Amarillo, Texas, where I'm at now, and I just watched it from home. Yeah, games like that, I can't be around a bunch of people. I get too excited and too worked up. And
Yep.
I basically did what you did, Ben. I dropped to my knees and, I mean, of course, yelled as loud as I could, and I was in tears.
Yep.
It was one of those moments that, you've been wishing and wishing, growing up, watching these teams lose and lose. And it finally came together, and it was like, we did it. We're one step away from getting the trophy. It was a big moment. It was a big moment in the franchise's history and everything. I mean, look at the following year when we played Detroit. It was just a momentum gainer,
Yep. That was actually when they clinched. Kobe Lewis pitched an amazing game.
Yes, he did.
Amazing game that night. And that was actually the last day in the Air Force. I drove from Alamogordo, New Mexico, from Holloman Air Force Base back to Hereford, Texas, and spent that night with my dad and Greg Yost and Andy Kalka out at Greg Yostin's shed. We went out there and we watched the game. And when Neftali threw that curveball and made A-Rod look stupid, we all got we all just really got stupid, just celebrating like we couldn't believe what was happening.
No, I could tell you right now that there are two calls in world history that I remember the most. One was because it was my dad's favorite thing ever, was the Miracle on Ice. When Al Michaels yelled, "Do you believe in miracles?" when they won that game. And then number two is Eric Nadel saying, "Strike three called. The Rangers are going to the World Series."
We got him to say that too on our podcast.
We did.
We got him to say that. And the Rangers are going to the World Series.
That was one of the greatest calls ever.
It really was. Something you always remember the rest of your life.
And he told us on the podcast, Tyler, which you listened, so I'm sure you heard this, but he said that, the reason he was quiet for so long afterward is because he got emotional.
Yeah, yes. He couldn't. Yep. He said, I just wanted to let the crowd and hear the ambiance and just hear the crowd, and listen to, I like Texas, and just let it all soak in. I mean,
that's awesome.
It was that powerful. I mean, it was.
And another thing about that day was, I think we'll put the icing on the cake, is who he struck out.
Yes.
It was A-Rod. And it's like, I think a lot of Rangers had bitter feelings for A-Rod the way it ended up, with the contract but at the same time, just the way it ended, it's like you couldn't ask for a better situation, a moment to clinch it right there with A-Rod in the batter's box wearing a Yankee uniform.
Yep.
Out of all the teams, a Yankee uniform.
I can't even top that. I mean, that's well said, Tyler.
And for me too, guys, it was also the fact that who knocked the Rangers out of the playoffs all three times when they went in the 90s? It was always the Yankees.
Always the Yankees, the damn Yankees. You're right.
Yep. So taking them out was, for me, I actually wasn't that upset we didn't win the World Series in 2010, because knocking the Yankees out to go was kind of my World Series.
You know what? Honestly, it's kind of was mine too. It's just like the Yankees are done.
Yeah. Now we don't talk about 2011. Yeah, we don't talk about that. 2011
hurt. Yes, that one hurts.
Yeah.
That Nelly Cruz foul ball. Oh my God, I'll never forget how sick I was, and I almost threw up.
Oh, I did throw up, DJ.
Funny story about that. Game 6. I'm at home. I was studying to be a land surveyor. That was going to be my career, and I had my 8-hour certification test the Saturday after Game 6. Well, actually, it was right after Game 7. Game 7 was on that Friday. But I left for Austin the next morning after that, and the Rangers lost Game 7. And I was literally so distraught that I got a 48 on my test. And I blame Neftali Feliz. I blame Nelson Cruz and the Rangers.
Yeah, because I was sitting there screaming. Freeze is up there, and Neftali kept throwing fastballs in the outside corner. I was like, bust him in, throw one, and it's done. It's over. And he didn't do it. He kept going outside. And
then he hung it up.
Yep.
And
but that still should have been caught.
Yeah, definitely. I told
everybody knows that. So,
but I just thought the pitch. I'm sitting there screaming at the TV. Go bust one inside, bust a fastball inside, and it's over. It's over. And he didn't do it. But anyway, we'll move on from that. One of the key cogs to the glory years of the Rangers, started in 2008. The Rangers traded Edinson Volquez. Do you remember those days, Tyler? We were worshiping the DVD combo that was supposed to be coming.
No, of course.
Yeah. So Volquez gets traded to the Reds for one Josh Hamilton, and he had a great career. It ended sourly, and then he came back, and then he got hurt, and yada yada. So, what is your overall opinion of Josh Hamilton?
That one is kind of like I was talking to you last night. We didn't really indulge into it a bunch, but I was like, it's kind of an iffy topic with me. I've battled addictions before, and I understand some of the stuff he was going through. But as far as his playing stuff, he could have gone out as the greatest player ever to play the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a sad. It really is a sad deal how his career ended from the potential he had. A player like that. I look at it maybe differently. I mean, he's a professional player, which I know he's a human, but to have that much potential and to really just throw it away.
Yeah.
I look at other athletes like Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
Just to have that much talent and stuff, and then just to let it go to waste.
Yeah, he's another good example. And then Matt Bush is one who's the other way around. He had all those trouble, was actually in jail before he wound up coming out and going back into the majors. And now I love the way he's pitching this year too. It's great to see Matt Bush back with the team.
It really is. He's pitching good ball right now.
Was the one that had the nuts to bean Jose Bautista.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Ribs. I loved it.
Started Rugi's best hit as a Texas Ranger.
Good old Rugi and that good old hit to Batista, huh?
Yeah, good old jaw.
Yeah,
it cracked me up because we trade every Ranger. If we're going to make a trade, it's going to the Yankees. And I was like, I wonder how that's going to work out with him having to shave his head and having no facial hair and everything.
He looked like a child.
He did.
I know. We were watching him, and like Joey Gallo too. I was like, what is going on? Looks a little weird.
Yeah, IKF now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jose Trevino.
Yep.
So it's the New York Rangers, just not the hockey team.
Well,
exactly.
That's been the joke for years, is that we're the Yankees farm system.
Now, think about that though. I think we get the better players out of the deals the majority of the time.
Yep,
I agree.
I think we screw over the Yankees.
I think lately we have for sure.
Oh, well, definitely.
You should have. I'm sure you did listen to the podcast. Ben was pissed.
Yeah.
That trade went down initially, and then the next night he was like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, I should have researched those players a little bit more.
The trade involved. Which trade are you referring to?
The Joey Gallo trade.
Oh yeah, I was a big Joey Gallo fan, but man, them strikeouts and stuff, it just gets to a point where it's like he's got to go.
Yeah, but I didn't think the prospects, I didn't think they were good enough until I really started looking into them. And then I realized, man, Josh Smith is a stud. Ezekiel Duran is a stud. I mean, we got some real ballers for trading Joey Gallo. Glenn Otto, another one. Yeah. Pitching tonight.
And that's exactly what Gallo's going to be the rest of his career. I mean, he's always going to be a 200 hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to go up, unfortunately, for him. That's just a batter he is. He's a power hitter.
He'll have a Chris Davis year in there somewhere where he hits 50 home runs.
Yep.
And then he'll
when the trade happened. I think we love Gallo. His defense is amazing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what sets him apart. But at the plate, I think he's a glorified Adam Dunn. Strikeout 200.
That's a good example.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way I look at him. So, all right, we'll move on to what's your opinion of Ian Kinsler, Tyler?
I was always a big Ian Kinsler fan growing up. If I recall, the Rangers came up to Ian before they traded him to Detroit, and didn't they ask him to move over to first for Jerks and Profar so he could play?
Yep,
they did.
So it's one of those deals that, I was like, you're a lifelong Ranger. I mean, why would you not do what, why wouldn't you try to make the team better? Like, do what you're.
We're coming fresh off of watching Michael Young go from second to short
to third to first and DH. Yeah.
Yeah. You're watching, your veteran leader do all this stuff, but you don't want to have any part of it.
Yeah.
Well, and Kinsler left this team on very bad terms just because John Daniels didn't even tell him he was traded. He found out, while he was on an airplane, and he got really mad. He made that stupid statement where he hopes the Rangers go 0-162, and ticked a lot of people off. But
then he hit the home run against the Rangers and stared into the dugout like the players had to do with it, which pissed me off.
Yeah. But as a Ranger, he was really, really, really good.
Oh, he's
and I always liked him. And now that I look back and his career is completely over, I still like the guy.
Oh yeah.
I've always liked him. Like I said, I don't have any hard feelings for him. I mean, he did what he wanted to do. And, it ended bad for the relationship between him and Texas, and it's unfortunate. But
yeah,
like I said, it's one of those deals. It's part of baseball. It's part of all professional sports. It's a business.
Yeah. And he's obviously, made up a little bit with him because I think it was last year he threw out the first pitch at a Frisco Rough Riders game.
Yep. Did he really?
Yeah, opening day. He threw out the opening day pitch at a Frisco Rough Riders game. So obviously it's water under the bridge for him at this point too.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, and the way I look at him is, if he played for the Yankees, the Tigers, when we were playing them in the playoffs, that's a guy that you would hate if you're playing against him.
Yep.
But when playing on your team, the way he cared, and he was demonstrative sometimes, especially when he popped up, which he did a lot. He'd pop up and just shrug his shoulders, and he was mad. And like that. That shows that. I mean, that's a guy I want on my team, and it's also a guy I don't want to play against because he's going to annoy the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
My favorite Ian Kinsler memory is the 6-for-6 with the cycle night.
That was a great memory.
No, I mean, I'm sure if that's the first thing everyone thinks of when they think of Kinsler. But man, that was such a great night.
But I think CJ brought up a good point too. It's the passion he played with. You want a player like that on your team, that competitive. You've got to have that edge. I mean, you've got to have a spark.
Yeah,
in the dugout and just to get everybody going. And Ian Kinsler brought that every single day.
That's kind of who Adolis is on the team this year.
Yep,
he's that guy that just gets super excited like a little kid every time something happens.
That's my fiance's favorite player.
Is it? Yeah, he's fun. He's so fun to watch, man.
He is. I mean, and he's built like a brick rock.
Yes, he is.
Speaking of, right on cue, he just slid into home to get the go-ahead run up just now.
Nice.
Woo-hoo! I'm too busy talking to you, Tyler.
I know. Well, Steve, fortunately, I've got y'all on just audio, and I'm watching the baseball game. I got to watch Mitch Garver's home run earlier too.
That's all why right. You see me keep looking off to the left. That's why.
And Brad Miller. Yep, Brad Miller. There it is. I just got the update. Thanks, Tyler.
Hey, you remember, speaking of Brad Miller, you remember what we talked about last night, CJ?
Yes.
How I just like how he comes up with no gloves. He's got his rubber wedding ring band on, and just he's just old school style.
Yep.
He looks like someone. To me, this is what he looks like to me. He looks like someone challenged him. You can't hit a baseball. He's like, yeah, I can. And he just walks up there in his street clothes and knocks him on.
Did you see that he was wearing? I guess he lost a bet with him.
Yeah, the blue jeans. That was really funny.
He's hitting
yesterday. That was awesome.
That's what I'm saying. But that even made him look more like he's just a guy that he was like sitting in a chair and like, can you do better? And he's like, yeah, I think I can. He climbed up. That's kind of what his attitude reminds me of. It's just like, yeah, I can do better than that.
Yeah, it's like opening day whenever, we signed him and he comes up the very first at bat and hits a home run. I was like, yep, that's our new signing.
Yeah, we spent $500 million and nobody's talking about this dude.
Yeah.
Right. By the way, they signed him for 2 years, so this is not his only.
So I'll tell you what.
Hopefully he keeps it up.
He was a good signing. I think he will be. Plus his veteran leadership. I think that was a really, really savvy pickup.
I do too.
Yeah, and Cole Calhoun too. I like the signing. Yeah, he struggled to start, and I'm going back and forth. I'm wishy-washy. Yeah, I can be right, I can be wrong, and I'll admit it. Cole Calhoun, I liked it at first, and then he started off so cold. I'm like, God, okay. Well, Leody Taveras is tearing it up in AAA, by the way.
Yes.
And so is Bubba Thompson until he took one in the face. Did you see that, Tyler?
I didn't see it.
It was weird.
Yeah.
He was chasing a foul ball, and it left field, and I don't even remember what they were playing. But you just kind of lose him, and you see the ball fall behind that. It's kind of like how the Rangers have the right field, real short in between, the foul ball marker or the foul ball line, and so stands, you kind of lose them over there. That's what happened with Bubba. And then all of a sudden, it's like everybody's rushing over there. The ball hit him in the freaking eye. And it swelled up so bad that his eye was closed.
Wow.
The only thing I can guess, because we never saw it happen, is that a fan reached out and redirected the ball right before he caught it. That's the only thing I can think happened.
I could not figure out what the hell happened.
Because I don't know what else could have happened, how he would have taken one in the eye like that. I mean, those guys catch 10,000 balls a day. They know. Oh, yeah. They know how to do that. Their eyes
closed, exactly. It's
so it must have been deflected right before it got to him.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out happened. But I mean,
have y'all looked to see if there's any video on that? Or
Yeah, they couldn't get it. That was the thing. Where the camera was, you couldn't
where
see
the
that
camera?
corner.
DJ, I got you now.
Yeah, because it's a minor league park. They don't have as many cameras, so you couldn't see into that corner.
yeah, all you can see is the above view from behind home plate, and you just see him disappear, and the ball comes down, and
Then you see a
all of a
bunch of
sudden-
people running over there.
Well, has Bubba released a statement since then, or saying like what he saw happen, or
Not that I've seen.
Oh no, he hasn't, and he took a picture. One of his teammates took a picture of him with his eye all just closed.
Yeah.
They said it took stitches to close up the eye, and then the next day his eye, it opened back up, and he's going to be okay. They're not putting him on the aisle or anything like that. So
that's good?
he's been tearing it up. Like him and Leote back to back is.
Yeah, but it's weird about Leote. He'll tear it up at AAA, and then he gets up here, and I don't know. I'm skeptical on that guy.
I've been one, and Ben can vouch for me on this. I've been pounding the fucking desk. Yeah, I said fuck. For Leote, like this dude, I covered him when he was up here playing against the Amarillo Sod Bulls when he was at Frisco in 2019. And that dude just had the air about him. Like he walked up to the batter's box knowing he's the best player on the field. He's the best player, the most talented player in the entire stadium. He knew it. And last year when he started with the Rangers up in the majors, he looked scared. And that was not used to seeing, because I saw that player in person. I stood next to him. I smelled him, but okay, scratch that. I didn't, but I was.
I'm not scratching that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But this guy has it. He is a 5-tool player.
Yeah,
he can do everything, but he's got to get out of his own head. And what Woody was saying when they sent him down actually was, we want to see the adjustments that we just made with him stick.
Yeah,
we want to see it stick in AAA, and if it sticks, he said the same thing that I was saying. How many times, Ben, did I say I'm pounding the desk?
Yeah, yep.
Saying, don't give up on Leote. Don't give up on Leote.
Yeah,
Wood said the same thing. He said, if it sticks in AAA, I'm going to be the first one pounding the desk to get him back up.
Yep.
So,
and I don't think he's long.
You make great points. I hope you're right. I mean, because with all that talent, like I said, I know he's got all the tools for it. He's just got to transition over to the big leagues. And you made a great point, CJ. He's got to find it up there in his head somewhere and realize, you know what? This is my stage now.
Yep. And that's a great, I love the way you just said that, because that's the way he was when he came to Amarillo with Frisco.
Yeah.
His stage, and nobody could take it. And he hit a ball. He hit the freaking city of Amarillo building. He hit a ball. Hit the city of Amarillo building out there beyond left field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he hit it on the fly.
Well, that had to travel at least over 450.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 465 shot, I think.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready for good radio? I don't know if you can see this. There's Bubba.
Oh, there you go. Golly.
Yeah, it's swollen.
Yeah, that's his eye.
When we get off the podcast, I'll have to go look that up. That's crazy.
Yeah, just look up Bubba Thompson on Twitter. It's one of the first pictures to come up.
Yeah, and watch the video. Maybe you can see something we didn't see, because me and Ben were all over it, like trying to figure out what the hell happened, and we still can't figure out what the hell happened. So
yeah, I'll go look it up. I'm sure, like you said, there's not an angle to show it.
No,
kind of a freak accident.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
All right, CJ, what else you got for him?
No, I'm going to let you close it out with Tyler, you're on the hot seat now, bro. I told you last night I was going to surprise you with one. I'm going to let Ben take it.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, I don't think he'll be that surprised. He listens. So, Tyler, what's your go-to at Whataburger?
My go-to at Whataburger? Well, they just discontinued it.
What?
It used to be the mushroom Swiss burger.
Oh, that thing was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That thing was good.
Did they discontinue it?
They discontinued it because they came up with that new coleslaw one.
Yeah, the spicy chicken, or no, what, the bacon burger. Yeah, the Southern style bacon burger.
Yeah, I went there actually probably about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I looked on the menu and I didn't see the mushroom Swiss burger. And I was like, surely they have it. So I went to the drive-thru and it's like, please tell me y'all didn't get rid of it. And they did.
All right, Whataburger, if you're listening, bring it back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. It was one of the Texas favorites, I thought.
Yeah, hashtag mushroom Swiss burger.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's gone now.
Now, if they get rid of the patty melt, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh,
that was going to be my second one.
They aren't going to do that.
Patty melt.
That patty melt, man, and you can actually order it with lettuce and tomato. I like lettuce and tomatoes. I like veggies on my burgers. So you can order a patty melt with lettuce and tomatoes. Bam.
I'm going to check you up on that idea next time.
Yeah, and spicy or regular ketchup?
Spicy, definitely, always.
I like both, but yeah.
I like both, but the new spicy one is pretty good too. The one with hot sauce in it, the white one.
Oh, I haven't had that one.
Oh, that one's good. You guys need to try it. Maybe it hasn't made it out to you guys, but they have it here where I am. I
don't know. Has it, CJ? Have you been? When was the last time you went to Whataburger?
I've been good this year. I injured my back. Ben knows this. I re-injured my back. I injured my back when I was in the Air Force and deployed in Iraq, and it aggravated 2 days before Thanksgiving. So, I had to change my diet. So I have eaten out just twice since the new year. And of course, one of them was Whataburger patty.
Well, yeah.
No, I haven't been there in a month and a half. So
I've eaten out twice this week.
I usually try to make it at least twice a month.
Yeah, to Whataburger, yeah, I do too.
But the lines are so long, it's just ridiculous sometimes. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
Well, the bad news for me is I live in a little town in East Texas, and we just got a sign put up that said Whataburger coming soon. So now instead of 20 minutes from my house, it's going to be 4 minutes.
That's awesome.
Well, Ben's going to be making some quick trips.
Yeah, my diet is about to be gone. The one that I did so good on over the last few months.
Yeah, now it's 3 times a day, every day.
Yeah, now it's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day.
There you go. That's hilarious.
Good stuff, guys.
Good stuff. Well, Tyler, man, thank you for joining us.
Hey, it was awesome, guys, man. Would love to do it again sometime soon.
We will definitely have you back on, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks again, Ben.
All right. Don't forget, because I didn't mention it off the top, brought to you by Dallas Sports Nation and Walton's. Of course, the commercial plays off the top of for Walton's, but I still want to mention them because we love them. Everything but the meat. And Dallas Sports Nation, thank you for all they've done for us so far. And CJ, we'll talk again real soon.
Yep. Until tomorrow.
Thanks again, CJ. Appreciate it, brother.
Sure. Have a good night, bud.
You too.
Thanks for listening to the Ranger Report podcast. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and at therangerreport.com.